G'day, Matthew here from Velocity Selling, and today we're talking about a particular question that customers sometimes ask us as salespeople and business owners that strikes fear into our hearts. And that particular question is, why should we buy from you rather than a more established player? Or why should we buy from you rather than ABC? And one of the biggest challenges there is the salespeople or business owners will start to go ahead and list out their features and benefits and just find themselves just talking themselves into this ever narrowing circle of pretty much going nowhere. So how do we get out of that? How do we fight through that process? Well, we do that by actually establishing what's called buying criteria at the beginning of the sales engagement. So when you're qualifying the customer, when you're talking with them, you want to have in your mind, or even better, written out a group of questions that will establish whether or not a particular set of of benefits is a buying criteria for the customer. Now, the most high level basic question you can ask is, so how will you be evaluating this purchase? Or what are your criteria when looking at a purchase of this nature? Now that's really high level, and the customer might give you some pretty bland examples, customer service, data validation tools, or whatever it might be. You want to go a bit deeper on those ones. You might want to ask, tell me about a situation where customer service hasn't worked for you. If they don't give you a meaty example, an example that's really hurt their business, don't really get too involved. Just try to tick that box for them. But if they've got a situation where the wheels have really fallen off the situation because of bad customer service, you want to set that reasonably high and keep coming back to that piece of buying criteria. So how we want to actually think about buying criteria is, we know that we've got a certain feature set. Our opposition have a certain feature set, and we want to help establish the buying criteria. How we do that is by asking questions that drive towards benefits that only we really establish. And so I'm not going to go into all of those questions of what they might be, but you want to certainly dig those out. You want to ask questions that talk about talk about a business problem that only you can solve. And you want to establish 4 or 5. Okay, Mr. Jones, so from our conversation today, your criteria for making this decision is based on A, B, C, D, and E. Is that right? Now, you've done a couple of things. First of all, not very many people ask about their buying criteria. Second of all, it stops you from waffling on about your 30 other features that the customer doesn't care about, and that's just going to bore them and cause more questions and slow the sales process down. But actually, it also drives a bit of a wedge between where you are and your features and benefits and your competition. And because competition are probably not going to ask that question, and if they are, they're going to be trying to establish a set of buying criteria. If they're even half smart, they're going to try to establish a set of buying criteria different to yours. But if you've got the chance, go ahead and build a set of criteria with the customer, in conjunction with the customer, that really only provides them with one answer, and that one answer is buying your product. So that's really important. Doesn't matter whether you're selling a software program, a technical solution, or even a self-managed super fund. You want to find out what the customer's buying criteria are, because you know what? Very rarely does the customer actually know how to buy what you're selling. So that education piece is really important. And so what we've actually done with some customers is have them build out a document as how to buy this particular software, or the most important things when looking at purchasing XYZ software, XYZ service. And if you can provide that as a white paper, of course, what's going to be amazing is that your service and product is going to tick every single one of those boxes inside that white paper. So, bit of a short, sharp one today, talking about buying criteria, establishing that. Now, when we circle back to the original question is, hey, why should I buy your program, not somebody else? Or why should I buy from you rather than a long-established customer? Your answer is, well, Mr. Jones, based on your buying criteria here, we're the only one that can actually satisfy all of the areas that you're looking for. Now, should we go through those again, or you feel comfortable with that? 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, no, I understand that. But if they want to really dig in, you're going to go, okay, cool. So we established this buying criteria. Yep, we established this, this. Was there any others that I've missed? If they bring up anything else, you've given them the floor, great. If not, then you go through and answer those, show how your product or services particularly deals with each one of those areas, and you're away. You've crushed the competition because you've cared more than the competition. You've created a buying criteria that the competition can't manage, and you've circled back and asked for the money. All right, well, that's a short, sharp one. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.